Welcome everyone. Today we'll discuss part 2 of lesson 3, unit 3, electrons and chemical bond. Before discussing our lesson, we will review the previous part. Beryllium atom has 4 electrons. Draw a Bohr model for beryllium atom. Bohr model, we know that Bohr model. Draw the electrons in energy levels. So how can we draw 4 electrons in Bohr model for beryllium atom? Answer. Here, the first level will take 2 electrons. The first level can take maximum of 2 electrons, and the remaining 2 electrons will be in the second level. This is Bohr model for beryllium atom. The second question: how many valence electrons are there in the following atoms? Here, this atom is chlorine atom. It has 9 protons and 9 electrons. How many valence electrons here? Here, sodium atom, and here, neon atom. Fluorine. How many valence electrons? What's meant by valence electrons? Valence electrons are the electrons in the outermost energy level. So, how many electrons here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, here there are 7 electrons in the outermost energy level, so we have 7 valence electrons. In sodium atom, the outermost energy level has only 1 electron. Here, the third level. The first level has 2, the second level has 8, and the third level has only 1. So, only 1 valence electron. Here, neon atom, the number of electrons in the outermost energy level is 8. It's completed. So the number of valence electrons is 0. This atom cannot lose nor gain. The third question: sulfur is in group 16 of the periodic table. How many valence electrons does an atom of sulfur have? In group 16. Group 16. So how many electrons? The number of valence electrons in sulfur atom equals the group number, the number of a group, which is 16 minus 10. We mentioned that from 13 to 18 minus 10. 16 minus 10, so it has 6 valence electrons. Let's continue our lesson. Why do atoms form bonds? Why atoms are bonded to each other? Atoms tend to form bonds if its outermost energy level is not full with 8 electrons. Atoms that have fewer than 8 valence electrons, except for helium, do not have a full outermost energy level. So, these atoms can gain, can lose, or share valence electrons to form bonds to complete its outermost energy level with 8 electrons. So, why atoms form bonds? To reach to the noble gas, to be similar to noble gas, which has 8 electrons in the outermost energy levels. As you can see here, some atoms, hydrogen has only 1 electron. It tends to make this level has 2, the first energy level can be completed with 2. Lithium has 1 electron in the outermost energy level, so it tends to be 2, can lose 1 electron. Here sodium has also 1 electron in the outermost energy level, so it tends to make the outermost energy level completed, so it tends to lose one electron. Here carbon has 2 electrons in the first energy level and 4 electrons in the outermost energy level, so carbon atom shares with other atom with electron to form 8, to become 8. Silicon has 4 valence electrons also, so it can share with other atoms. Fluorine has 7, it can gain or share. Chlorine, it has also 7 in the outermost energy level, the third one. Here the noble gases, helium has 2 in the first energy level, it's completed. Neon has 8, completed with 8, the outermost energy level, the second one. And argon has also 8 in the third energy level, or the last, or the outermost energy level. So, what is an ion? An ion is a charged particle that forms when an atom loses or gains an electron or more. So, when an atom loses an electron or gains an electron, it doesn't become no longer neutral, it becomes charged. So an ion is a charged particle, charged atom that forms when an atom loses or gains an electron or more. We have 2 types of ions, positive ion and negative ion. Positive ion, an atom that loses an electron or more. This is a positive ion. For example, sodium. Sodium here has 11 electrons, 2 in the first energy level, 8 in the second energy level, and 1 in the outermost energy level. So, sodium loses this electron to be similar to the noble gas. Outermost energy level contains only 8, so it loses this electron. When it loses 1 electron, it becomes a positive charged or positive ion. This is a positive ion. So electronic configuration of sodium positive ion 2,8, because this electron is lost. This is a positive ion. Why a positive? Because the number of protons inside the nucleus exceeds the number of electrons. Here it has 11 protons, 11 positive protons and 11 negative electrons. The number of electrons decreases by 1, so the positive charge exceeds the negative charge and becomes a positive ion. The second type of ion is called negative ion, an atom that gains an electron or more. For example, here chlorine. Chlorine has 2 electrons in the first energy level, 8, and the last energy level has 7 electrons. So it tends to complete its outermost energy level with electrons, with 8 electrons, so it gains 1 electron. After gaining 1 electron, here become 8, so it becomes 288. Instead of 287, it becomes 288. Now the number of electrons exceeds the number of protons by 1, so that the negative charge dominates and the number of electrons are greater than the number of protons, so it becomes negative ion. So forming bonds allow atoms to fill the outermost energy level. When one atom loses an electron, it becomes positively charged. This electron jumps to another atom, causing it to become negatively charged. The 2 atoms are now attracted to each other, forming a chemical bond. For example, here, sodium and chlorine. Sodium has 1 more electron in the outermost energy level, has 1 electron, and the chlorine needs an electron. So this electron is transferred from sodium atom to chlorine atom. Sodium atom becomes positive and the chlorine atom becomes negative. Sodium loses and the chlorine gains. So positive and negative, we know that positive charge and negative charge attract each other. So they form an ionic bond. So the ions formed by chlorine and sodium Both have 8 valence electrons. After removing this electron from sodium, the outermost energy level has 8. And after gaining 1 electron for chlorine atom, the outermost energy level contains 8 valence electrons. Bonds hold the negative and the positive ions together, producing sodium chloride. Thank you for listening until we meet again in another lesson.